This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up the Kentucky way with WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. It's so good to have you with us on this Wednesday, October 26th, and it's a busy one here in Lexington.
A lot going on now at 6:30. Lexington police are planning to continue searching a portion of the Kentucky River. It comes after finding possible human remains.
More on that, plus a traffic stop led to a lengthy standoff in Lexington, a big disruption in that area. More on the suspect charge just ahead.
And you'll hear from a huge Cubs fan who predicted that his team would win it all this year 23 years ago. It's an amazing story. We'll have that for you coming right up.
All right, so today is what we like to call layering weather.
Yes,
because it is cool right now, but by the end of the day, you're going to be able to be in practically shorts and a t-shirt.
That's exactly right. I mean, you're jumping 30 degrees from morning to afternoon.
Exactly.
It's just one of those days, right? 73 later on this afternoon after a start of 30s and 40s. It's just the way it's going to go. Let's look outside right now and let me show you what's going on across the region. We are nice and dry in terms of what the sky condition looks like. But walking outside, it's a little chilly in some spots. Now, no widespread frost. We do have a frost advisory for eastern Kentucky, but that's mainly for the valley areas. No widespread frost, just some patchy spots here and there. It's 37 in Danville, but we're in 40s for most locations. So we get into the afternoon. Here's what we were talking about, 73 later on today. Mixture of sun and clouds. Looks pretty good, but look toward tomorrow morning. We'll actually get some rain sliding on in here. I'm going to go over the timing, how much we can expect, and if we see any thunderstorms out of this. That's coming up.
All right, and if you wear that coat this morning, don't forget it at school or at work,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
I'm notorious for that.
There you go. Let's get right to the news. New on WKYT this morning, Lexington police say human remains may have been found in the Kentucky River.
Those remains were found while crews were removing cars spotted in the river several months ago. Today's investigation will impact some drivers. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is at our alert desk this morning with the details.
That's right. Because of this search, the Valley View Ferry will be closed today, and it will be open for your morning commute for 2 hours before it closes for the day starting at 8 o'clock this morning. Now, the closure is necessary as Lexington police say they will continue their search operation at the Kentucky River. Police say a crew pulled cars from the river over the weekend. They found what could be human remains. Police say testing must still be completed, a process that could take a while. The crew is expected to head back out today because of ideal river conditions. Now, we're told they plan to explore further, but they're not telling us much more. Police say at this time it is not clear if the suspected remains are connected with a vehicle. Now, once again, the Valley View Ferry will be closed starting at 8 o'clock this morning for the remainder of the day. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you. Our news team will keep an eye on that, certainly. We have some new information this morning about a lengthy standoff that went on in a neighborhood in Lexington last evening. Lots of questions coming in about what was going on there.
People stuck outside their homes. Yeah. Police have identified the suspect as Robert Holbert. He is charged with facing several charges after police say he pulled out a gun during a traffic stop on Versailles Road. WKYT's Mike Byer is live in Lexington with the details about last night's ordeal.
Good morning, Andrea. It was a scary situation last night, but fortunately police were able to end the standoff with Holbert without anyone getting hurt. Now, she was arrested as a result and is going to be arraigned later today here at Fayette County District Court. Now, it all started around 7:30 last night when police say they spotted a stolen car and made a traffic stop. They say Holbert pulled into an apartment complex off Versailles Road, but she eventually got out of the car and tried to run away. Police say they tasered her twice, but she wouldn't stop. At one point, police say she pulled out a gun on officers. Police were eventually able to corner her in an area near Versailles Road and Delmont Drive. This is when the standoff began. Police say Holbert was standing on the porch of a vacant home during the standoff, a standoff that lasted for nearly 2 hours until a police negotiator was able to get her to drop her weapon. Now, the whole ordeal came to an end just after 9 o'clock when she was arrested. Holbert now faces many charges, including theft of a motor vehicle registration plate, fleeing or evading police, and wanton endangerment. She'll answer to those charges later today here at Fayette County District Court. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you very much. 6:35 on WKYT this morning. Experts say parents need to monitor their children's smartphone use, especially close to bedtime. Using smart devices can lead to a lack of sleep, and that, of course, causes even more concerns. WKYT's Miranda Combs has looked into that and has this report.
4, 3, 2, 1.
A lot of people will tell you they can't live without their smart devices. Turns out
it's really a huge problem especially regarding sleep.
You can't sleep very well with them either.
If you use your device and you go to sleep, it will postpone your sleep time. You won't have a good sleep and your sleep onset will be delayed.
Dr. Standoff studies children's sleep habits at the University of Kentucky. He sees a lot of kids with the same problems as their parents, looking at smart devices too close to bedtime.
There is no room for any electronics in child's bedroom. That includes TV, that includes smart device.
He says devices for children should be turned off 1 or 2 hours before bed. The reason? Phones and tablets and televisions let off a blue light, which delays melatonin secretions from the brain, which is needed to sleep.
Our brain has a clock that knows when it's time to go to sleep.
So the blue light from smart devices delays that natural clock, and Dr. Standoff says that's especially worrisome with children who are still developing and need scheduled sleep. He says a lack of routine sleep patterns in children will affect learning, behavior, and mood.
Very interconnected. Very interconnected.
In a society where everyone is connected. In Lexington, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Interesting research being done right here. For adults, the doctor says even having your phone in your room at night affects your sleep. Getting messages and alerts can bother your sleep pattern, so keep that in mind.
Well, instead of being at school today, a Garrard County teacher and assistant football coach finds himself in trouble with the law again. Stanford police say Stephen Grubbs overdosed on heroin on his way back to school. First responders found him unconscious after he crashed his car into trees and bushes. Police say it's Grubbs' third DUI charge in less than 10 years. The acting superintendent for Garrard County Schools says Grubbs is suspended with pay pending a further investigation. Investigators say Grubbs will appear in court next month.
And this story has a lot of people talking in southern Kentucky, a lot of unanswered questions after an animal cruelty case is underway there. A dog was found shot by an arrow.
So sad. We're told the dog was found dead on the side of the road on Highway 1023 in Laurel County. The dog's owner didn't want to talk on camera, but said the dog, named Scruffy, was loved by their children and was polite toward everyone. Neighbors say they can't understand why someone wanted to kill their dog.
I don't know if it's meanness or where they just want to kill something. I don't know. I mean, it'd be hard to really know what goes through their mind when they do stuff like that.
The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says they did not have any information on the case at this time.
Well, Kentucky's U.S. Senate candidates are going to college today, courting the young vote. Senator Rand Paul will be in western Kentucky. He will be holding a rally at Murray State University. Paul has started a new TV ad called Rand's Record, where, among other things, he says he has a 96% voting attendance record. And his challenger, Lexington Mayor Jim Gray, the Democratic nominee, will be talking with students at the University of Louisville today. Gray accuses Paul of turning his back on Kentucky as Paul launched a presidential campaign. The general election is now less than 2 weeks away.
Well, tonight is Game 2 of the World Series, and in last night's opener, the Cleveland Indians beat the Chicago Cubs 6-0.
Of course, there's a lot of interest in this year's series. Cleveland hasn't won since 1948, and Chicago hasn't even been in the World Series since 1945. But what if we told you that one man saw this coming 23 long years ago?
Would you believe us?
We're going to meet him now. Mike Lee, he's quoted in his 1993 senior yearbook, 93 now, is saying that the Cubs would win the World Series in 2016. Look at that.
Wow.
Lee said he didn't know what to put for his caption, so he just remembered a dream that he had as a kid. He says the dream was so real to him that he remembers it to this very day.
I was up on the that red scoreboard they have. It was, you know, with Harry Carey blasting away. Cubs win the World Series. It was pretty vivid. That's why I remembered it all the way through high school, and now I'm getting reminded again.
Cubs fans hope to fly the W tonight. Game 2 of the World Series, of course, is this evening at 7. They've moved it up an hour because they anticipate some rain in the Cleveland area. Isn't that amazing?
I mean, it's already a cool story that they're even there, you know what I mean, because it's been a while. But how cool would that be if it turns out to be true?
There you go. Wonder how many people wrote on his "Don't ever change." You know,
don't ever change. Stay just how you are.
Yeah. Especially since you're such a good prognosticator, right?
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's check to see how traffic is moving along this morning.
Let's go check in with Officer Don. He's out there trying to deal with Deanne and also update us on what's going on with traffic. I
heard her.
You speak like a man who's been there, Bill Bryant. No doubt about that. Hey, no wrecks in the city right now on the inner and outer loops of the Circle. We're okay. Had a little problem on Tate's Creek Road past Manowar, but they cleared the right lane. So for now, traffic seems to be moving okay in that area as well. Getting a live look outside at Lexington traffic flow this morning. No complaints so far. No red popping up. That's good. And there's a live look at Winchester and New Circle Road, both in and outbound, and of course on the inner and outer loops of the Circle. We'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, just want to take a little heat off of you there, Don. Thank you. You can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime. Download the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. It's free in the Google Play Store or the App Store as well. All right, more news coming up on WKYT on your Wednesday morning hump day.
Hey, let's make it a good one. Still ahead, James Corden goes Gaga in the latest episode of Carpool Karaoke. We'll take a peek at the duo right after Micah's forecast.
Pretty mild air streaming on in here later on this afternoon, and then we have some rain overnight into tomorrow, and then we look toward this very mild Halloween weekend and Halloween. We're going to get into all that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We're in the 30s and 40s early this morning, and it's really not as cold as it was yesterday morning, actually. We do have a frost advisory far eastern Kentucky, but that's mainly for some of those valley areas that we have over in the eastern zones. It's 46 degrees right now in Moorhead, a pair of 45s here in Lexington and Frankfort, and Danville coming in at 37 degrees. Mercer County, Harrodsburg, we're doing all right. South Isa, I'm not seeing any problems whatsoever. Monticello and Somerset sitting there, upper 30s, lower 40s. So watch out for some patchy frost. Maysville coming in. Corky McCord got on Twitter and let me know that it's 34 degrees right now in his backyard in Maysville. So appreciate all those updates on Twitter. Micah Harris, WX, you can find me there. The big picture, here comes the front moving on in. So this morning's chilly, but that warm front will extend to the north of us. That will usher in some mild air. We'll stay dry today in the low to mid 70s. Later on this afternoon, actually feeling really, really nice. So then we head overnight and into tomorrow. That's when that weak cold front kind of slides on in. And we'll feel a temperature difference from the morning hours to the afternoon on your Thursday. Thursday, we will have a shower chance, but most stay dry. 30–40% chance of rain, and that is it. We head towards your Friday, and it looks like those average temperatures will stick around mid-60s. Off towards your weekend, I'm not seeing any problems. So Friday night football looks good. Yard sales, 5Ks going on during the weekend. I don't see any issues whatsoever. Actually, really, really nice conditions. As that front is still staying to the north of us, that always helps us out trying to get that milder air off in here. Don't forget, follow me on Twitter, Mike Harris WX. Get pictures like these every day, man. These are so cool. Johnny Nicholson sent this one in at sunset last night. They're in London, Kentucky, down in Laurel County. Really, really good shot. You can follow him at the KY Niche. He's always got some really good shots going on Twitter. All right, let's talk about your 7-day forecast, the breakdown of it. We're at 73 degrees today. Later on this afternoon, 10 to 15 mile per hour gusts. It's just going to be a nice feeling day. Off towards your Thursday, like I said, showers will be in the forecast, but you got to remember it's a couple of showers here and there, and that's about it. These are very light. I would say most of us stay about 1/10 of an inch or less, which isn't that much.
Not much, yeah.
That means you can't put up those sprinklers just yet. You'll still have to get those going. And then we head towards your Friday. Looks good. The weekend we're in the 70s. Low to mid 70s the weekend and on Halloween. This is great weather for all those trick-or-treaters. You don't have to go, you know, indoors to do your trick-or-treating. You stay outdoors and enjoy the time, so it looks pretty good.
It really does. I mean, when you consider Tuesday is November, we've
it's 71 degrees.
It's been amazing, hasn't it?
No
I mean,
kidding.
really,
Right.
yeah, we're on a roll here. All right, Micah, thank you. 6:47 right now. The Late Late Show host, James Corden, is at it again, and his latest passenger for Carpool Karaoke, none other than Lady Gaga.
The Queen. The two sang, of course, and then Corden put on a fashion show. Take a look.
See, I thought you looked great in this outfit. I thought this was particularly strong.
He'll do anything, won't he? Oh,
my goodness.
Corden also modeled Gaga's meat dress, of course. The duo talked about her latest album, Joanne, as well. You can catch Carpool Karaoke on The Late Late Show right here on WKYT. I love that segment. It is never dull. Never.
You know, you just wonder, do you have any idea the kind of hit that would be?
Oh, he couldn't have. He couldn't have known. But it worked, man.
Well,
it worked.
Yeah, he just owns it, you know.
He does.
All right. 6:48 on WKYT this morning, rolling toward the 7 o'clock hour, and of course, the award-winning CBS This Morning.
We've got more news on the way. Keep it here on WKYT.
Coming up, how is Donald Trump spending his time and money between now and Election Day? We'll talk with his campaign manager. Plus, we go inside North Korea to see the impact of international sanctions. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
The time is now 6:51, and the news is back in the morning. There they are, getting ready to go with CBS This Morning. Donald Trump's campaign manager discusses the campaign's final push and why they're questioning some recent national polls.
Also, a tiny bug is devastating Florida's billion-dollar business of producing oranges. What scientists are looking to do to fix the problem, coming up.
And we want to see this morning what is making headlines locally on WKYT.com and some of the other websites.
Let's head on over to WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain. She is at our desk at a look at what's trending.
Hey there, guys. We've learned the name of the woman involved in a standoff with Lexington police near Versailles Road last night. Now, police say Robin Holbert pulled a gun on them during the standoff. Holbert did surrender herself to police. And this story is getting a lot of attention right now on WKYT.com. A Garrard County teacher and assistant football coach Stephen Grubbs overdosed on heroin while heading to school. Police say Grubbs, it's his third DUI charge in less than 10 years. And a lot of you are curious as to when your kids can go trick-or-treating. You can find those days and times on WKYT.com, along with the weather you can expect for your Halloween plans. You can also check out Micah Harris's forecast on his Twitter page, Micah Harris WX, and I'm sure he may even share his Halloween costume this year. Right, guys? What do you think?
Hey, the anticipation is building. What will Micah Harris do? All right, also in the news this morning, Lexington police still have not made any arrests after a man armed with a gun walked into a couple's home. It happened on Culpeper Road near the Chevy Chase area. The husband says his wife was downstairs when the man entered their home and pointed a gun at her. After hearing her scream, the husband ran downstairs and chased him out the back door. While chasing the suspect, he saw another man running with him. Police think the suspects got away in a car and drove off. Neighbors say this is just the latest incident to happen in the area. They say they've been dealing with several theft incidents in recent weeks.
It should be crazy, but it's happened so much recently that it's becoming somewhat normal. I was just talking to my neighbor recently, and we've had so many break-ins and backyard break-ins and thefts that it's becoming sort of the standard, and it shouldn't be.
Lexington police haven't made any arrests for the burglary. They say they don't have a good description of either suspect.
And now to an update on a story we've been following out of Louisville. One of the children hit by an SUV while at a bus stop last week is making some big steps toward recovery. The 8-year-old who was hit is now out of the hospital. He had suffered a broken leg, a concussion, and some internal injuries. Police say an SUV hit him and 2 other students after swerving to miss the stopped school bus. The other 2 children, who are brother and sister, are still in the hospital.
A big problem at the Lexington Humane Society should be fixed by the end of the week. Officials there say they've ordered the part they need to fix their sewage pump. An accident near the Humane Society caused the accident nearby, which knocked out controls to the shelter's sewage pump last week. Officials say they were paying hundreds of dollars to have a company pump out the sewage. They say they now have enough money to pay for the part.
State officials want to remind Kentuckians that seasonal restrictions on outdoor burning are in effect right now. The fall forest fire season started back on October 1st. It goes until December 15th. It's been pretty dry out there. It is illegal for any person to burn between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. The Kentucky Division of Forestry says because of the dry conditions that are ongoing, they are asking people not to do any outdoor burning. So keep that in mind. Well, Uber drivers out in Texas are doing more than just giving people rides these days. They're also delivering flu shots.
Yeah, this is an interesting idea. Accompanied by a registered nurse, Uber drivers in Houston delivered the shots throughout the city yesterday. People could order the shot by requesting the health option on the Uber app between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. 16 other major cities took part in the Uber flu shot campaign. Uber doesn't have an exact number yet, but they did say the tweet demands were high.
Whatever it takes to get that shot.
There you
right?
go.
There you go. The campus of Transylvania University in Lexington has received a spooky makeover.
Sure has. It looks great. Hundreds of jack-o'-lanterns are now on display on the steps of Old Morrison. They were lit last night as part of Pumpkin Mania. People on the Transy campus carved many of the pumpkins, but others were carved by people out in the community. And there was a carving contest for the kids. The jack-o'-lanterns will be on display through Halloween night, definitely putting Halloween in the air.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a great stretch of weather, it sounds like, as we head off into the weekend and toward Halloween. Let's check in with Micah for a final look at our forecast.
Yeah, the update of it. This morning, we're sitting there in the 30s and 40s. It's pretty much like yesterday morning, except some spots actually a little warmer. There could be some patchy frost here and there like we saw yesterday morning. But for the most part, we stay above that criteria. We're sitting there in the 30s and 40s. But let me show you this. Okay, it's one of those days that you start off with long sleeve shirts, maybe a sweater, and then you'll be wanting some short sleeves and some shorts later on this afternoon. 73 degrees. Really nice weather in store as we're sitting there, very pleasant. So teachers, you can get the kids outside today. It actually feels quite nice.
Let them run around, wear themselves out.
Some of the moms are thinking they're going to have to do some more washing with all those clothes being used, right? Nobody is more up to date than you to start your day. Thank you for being on WKYT.
Have a wonderful Wednesday.